Hey, what's up?
What's going on with you,
Kalito.
Chief? Doing all
Not
right
much.
today?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. What's going on? A lot of mess and a lot of crazy stuff going on today. Oh
Yes.
boy.
Well, not
Shelves
today.
empty.
Yeah, I would say it would be mostly the past few days, but not really today.
Yeah, shelves empty. My soldier's coming back. He said, Mom, oh, shelves empty. Yeah, I know, honey.
So
So
what you got for us today?
I don't know. Well, what do you want? Well, how y'all want to kick it? I don't know. Lots going on. I mean, a lot's going on. It's just it's mayhem and hysteria and there's just a lot going on today. But for some reason, I feel at peace, and I think that this
Hmm.
is a good opportunity for us as American Indians, as the Autochthonous people, the Aborigines of the land and surrounding waters, to take this opportunity to usher in, you know, the new revelations and the higher consciousness, and us being the examples of that higher consciousness. Because I think our movements are what is catapulting this thing that's going on now, even though, they never will admit it, in the media, and they'll never admit that anything is going to have anything to do with us. But it very much so does, how I feel in my spirit, that things are happening the way they're happening. And, overtly, it may seem like it's a reset for certain things, but we're just in a different energy now. So whereas it may seem like it's meant for this, but it's not really meant for this. It's meant for that. It's meant for us. And I just think we're at a good time to reset and to help raise the vibration of consciousness on the planet, among ourselves, in our communities, within our families, and keep it moving in that direction. Stay high on your vibrations. You know,
I agree.
don't get caught up in low vibration behaviors, conversations, actions. Stay high. People could take that, being at the fire circle with the peace pipe, but literally stay high in your thoughts. Stay high in your walk, your love, your kindness. You're showing goodness to one another, showing forbearance, forgiveness. Walk in those energies, because I think that's where we're at. Like I said, I don't feel, a lot of family members been calling me and asking me questions, and, folks hitting me up. But I don't know. I said I feel a peace and a calm, and I know there's mayhem all around. Stores is emptied out, no toilet paper, no this, no that. But I think the other side of that is this is the opportunity for us to raise the bar for ourselves, to usher in our energy and our cities of peace that we want to build for ourselves and for the greater humanity. And I think we're there. I think this is the opportunity. Take the opportunity. Like I think Tasha Shai did a great video showing what's left in the stores. Hey, it's really interesting. Meat is flying off the table, flying off the shelves. But okay, well, you do know animals can get the coronavirus and have had it. So the thing that's left is fruits and vegetables. Well, that's what we need to be doing. We need to be getting some fruits and vegetables. You know, chop them up,
Sounds
freeze
like a
them up,
plan.
prepare them. Huh?
That's right.
Yeah, we need to be getting those fruits and vegetables. So the stuff that they're leaving behind, excuse me if it's noise. I just like to be outside in nature when I'm kicking it
Oh,
with the
you good.
fam
You
so we
good.
can. Okay. Hey, what's up, bro? All right, peace. Um, I think take the opportunity to go get those fruits and vegetables. Go get that camping gear and things for outdoors. This is a good time to bring us outside, where our feet touch the soil, let our feet get in the soil. Good opportunity. Start your homeschool programs. People have been thinking about it and talking about it. This is a good time to kind of connect with, people in your community or just within your own family home, and start thinking of ways and alternative ways of teaching your children, because this is a major reset that it seems like they're trying to bring out and bring forward with all the quarantines and shutting down schools. And we got schools down here shutting down for the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And you got children who are going to be home, whereas parents are still at work, or some parents are still trying to get into work. So, We got people in the community who are agreeing to help watch the children, but I look at it as an opportunity that, like the little school programs and things I've been developing, we could put them to use. I will be posting some things on our page, on our Coosa government page, and anybody want to hit me up, I definitely want to put some tips out there for things that you could be doing with your children, and getting them reacclimated to, living indigenously if you're not already doing that, because I know a lot of people, that you're connected to with your show already adept and already, emerged and submerged in those type of practices. But this is a good time for us to share the things that we're doing with each, with our families and within our clans and bands and nations, and share, And I'm going to plan on sharing that information, especially when it deals with the children, how we can make school exciting for them. The weather has been beautiful. It's been so warm, and this virus can't live in the heat. So it's good time to be out, right? That's a very interesting, yeah. Get your kids in the woods. I take my the children around here, we go for nature walks all the time. I take them up in the woods. We look at animal prints. We collect rocks. I teach them how to respect our mother's womb, and when the wind softly goes to the trees, they have learned to recognize that we stop and we give homage. We say woosah. That means recognition of the wind spirit being revealed, and we're teaching them some things. And I'm telling you, the lessons that we can teach our children in nature are so profound and so numerous. It never is boring. We can go to the same spot every day of the week, but we're finding new things, new things that they can collect in their bags, and they look at them with the magnifying glasses, and we try to, we pull some stuff offline. I mean, you could just start your school that way, just getting back out into nature and letting us be one and connected to each other. And I don't know, I just look at this as a good opportunity. I mean, we could take it as negative and be on the side of mayhem, or we as Indigenous Aborigine people who, to me, we are sacred. We are the people who are most copied in the world. Well, this is our time to be a good example for the world. What are we doing? Because folks is looking at us. They're watching. They're watching every day. They're watching us on Facebook. They're watching our responses. They're watching our arguments. They're listening to our arguments. They're paying very close attention to our reactions and our actions. They're looking and they're seeing, because we're still a guiding light, whether we're in our full state of being or not. We're still a guiding light. So I think this is a great opportunity for those of us in the know to be guiding lights. And I don't mean be a guiding light where you're hammering stuff down or forcing something down people's throat. I'm talking about just living it. I don't have to tell somebody, I'm calm. No, you see me walking up and down this mound that that these housing projects are sitting on, and I'm just chilling, or I'm chilling with the grands, or I'm chilling with the people, and I'm out here just talking to folks. It's not about telling people or hammering down their throat, but it's what your living example is. This is a time to be calm, offer good words of wisdom, offering alternatives. Because people are talking, people are kind of huddling up and trying to figure this thing out. I had a doctor ask me, we had an appointment with my daughter, and I had a doctor ask me, well, what do you think about this? So people are talking. People want to know what you're thinking, because people want to know, which way do I go with this? Some people are feeling wishy-washy. I don't know where to go or what to do. So we're supposed to be the emblem of balance. We should be the emblem of balance in this thing. And, listening to our ancestors, listening to one another, and sharing the good word, and being good examples. I think it's a good opportunity for us to show ourselves in a different way.
That's awesome. Yeah. So what you think for this week right here, what you think would be we should focus on things that we wasn't able to do, especially due to this virus and the children being home. You saying that this is a great time to do that? Yeah.
This is a great time to reset. This is a great time to try to live out the things that we really want to live out indigenously. We're getting the opportunity to do it, instead of, sorry about the cars, y'all. And instead of, sitting pensively looking at the television every 5 seconds and waiting for them to direct on how we should be thinking, feeling, and acting and moving, because it's a lot of misinformation. miscommunications and things that are going on in the media that we need to, if we are the spiritual people that we say we are, and we are the sacred people that we say we are, then we should be hearing from our ancestors. We should be watching the signs of nature messaging, of the messaging that's all around us. We should be able to tune into those frequencies to help guide our steps. Because it's one thing to say, yeah, I'm an Indian and I got this proof and all this stuff. Okay, you have all that, but it's really our walk. It's our general walk and how we're actually doing it. So this is a good opportunity that if you had ideas about, community gardening, or, you want to do a program for children, or you want to, start getting yourself back out in nature more, and you haven't had time to do it because we're so time consumed with just trying to live daily and just kind of getting this grind, well, perfect opportunity that we can now take this time to explore some of the things that's been on our mind that we want to do. So. Yeah. Where y'all going? All right. Be safe. Okay. Um, so I just think it's a good opportunity for those things, and do know that we are watched all the time. They watch our conversations. They watch our interactions on social media. We are watched. And I mean, I think that we should also take this as an opportunity to maybe reset some of our grievances and things that are going on between people and groups and say, hey, let's get on a better page, and if people don't want to come along on that page, then you know what, then maybe just need to flip the page, maybe close that book and start another one, or flip the page to a different page. Because I just think we need to take good opportunity of this new air coming through, and we can do better with it than arguing or backbiting, talking down to one another, and all of that stuff, because they're watching that too. We're being watched on everything we do. When there's never not eyes on what we, the people, are doing, saying, and how we're interacting with each other. I mean, that's just something we might want to be mindful of, as we're out here doing our daily. And I don't mean putting on the show and the act. I don't mean being fake and phony, but it's just like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying be fake and phony with people, but it's just like you have children. There's certain things we don't want to do and say in front of our children. Then we might want to think about the way we're behaving as adults. What kind of messaging are we doing for the youth and the young ones who do watch everything we do and say? They don't ever have to tell us, but they do watch. They do watch things that we do, things that we say. Sometimes they agree with us, sometimes they don't. That's why we try to make sure that the youth has a voice to voice what they think and feel at the table, in our council as well, because it's not just about us. Sometimes us as adults, I think we get real caught up in ourselves. We can easily get caught up in what we got going on, and we don't think, if we're not doing this for the future generation, we're wasting time, because who's going to be the next leaders? Who's going to be the next fire keepers, and the next ones who to protect the village, or the next ones who is going to watch over the land and be stewards? Who's going to be the next ones? I mean, we're all going to become elders. So what example are we setting for the next generation to come up to be able to walk forward in our heritage and who we are? What are we leaving? What legacy are we really preparing our children and our grandchildren and great nieces and nephews and, the little ones around us? What legacy are we really setting or preparing for them? Is it a legacy of mess? We got to think about that. If we're out here in confusion, we're being confusing, we're being messy, we're cussing each other out, we're doing all this stuff. Okay. And when they want to act ratchet, how are we going to be mad at kids for acting ratchet when we as adults act ratchet? It's kind of funny, things that we like, that children get in trouble for, we do the same thing. So I just think it's a good opportunity, change the lanes, focus on positive things for real, and not get caught up and swept up. And if you are in situations, ask yourself, why am I in that situation? Why am I even entertaining it? Why am I even wasting time with it? Because at the end of the day, if we all take one step back and look around, not just at you, look at where you live and look at your community. Can't we do better? Is this the way we want to be living? I mean,
we can be 10 times better.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So while we you know, I'm kind of privy to, listening to some of the things that are going on in Indian country and outside of Indian country, within Indian country. And I'm like, okay, at the end of the day, look at your situation. And it's not just your situation. It's the situation of our greater community at large, our society. Look at it. What can we really be focusing on besides that? Look at the situation of our children in schools. Are they getting better? Is it a better situation for our kids now? I mean, are our neighborhoods safe? Are we working on those issues? I mean, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? It's like this grab bag thing going on, like who's the top this and the head of that. The head of what? If you're going to be the head of a body, your job is to try to make sure that the rest of the body is well. Because if not, then you're just the head of a sick body that's deteriorating. All right? If you chasing being the head of something, okay, what's the condition of the body? Because eventually, if the head is leading, then the head should be leading the body into wellness, right? Because we make choices about the foods that we eat, the things that we listen to. All of those things come out of our mind, our spirit, things we want or things we need or we think that we need to make ourselves whole and better. Okay, well, if the head is in charge of that, those decisions that we make, let's say in a leadership perspective or in a perspective of, being a head of something, if you are the head, what does the body look like? Is the body well? And if the body is not well, what are you doing as the head, or what decisions are you making in the head to help the body to be well? Because if the body is not well, then there needs to be some changes and some things that you may need to do to adjust in order for that to happen. So this grab bag of who's in charge, okay, but when you're in charge, there's a social responsibility to being in charge. There's a social responsibility to what and how the body looks, and how the body is reacting, and how the body of the people are thriving or not thriving, and what actions, plans do you have in place to get us to a place of wholeness and get us to a place of healing, because that's what it really means to be the head of something.
Right. And it shows, like you said, it shows.
And it shows what's your platform. If your platform is to argue, if your platform is to nitpick, if your platform is to point fingers, or to cuss folk out, or to act who's the baddest one on the airwaves, who can talk shit. Okay, you can do all that, but what does that do for the body that you say you're leading? That's why all these national leaders are on TV trying to quell the fears or either create the fears of their people, because they're trying to give them some national direction, right? But that's what the head has to do. The head has to give direction. Because you could, if a leader comes on TV and say all hell breaking loose, guess what's going to happen to the body? The body's all hell going to break loose, which is why we're seeing some people in panic and in mayhem, going off, buying up everything, stocking up on stuff, not thinking about other folks. Or I think somebody out here got stabbed in one of the stores over toilet paper. Okay, but if you have a leader who comes to the table with real action steps, tangible things that we could do that make sense and are delivering you the possibilities of good outcomes of certain things, that's going to lead the body in a different way. Because some people going to always make up their own mind, because everybody has individual choice, and that's what makes us universal beings. But as a collective, how people are going to react to things, it's going to depend. A lot of it at times depends on the head. What's the head? Like in my own family, people are looking at me like, is she scared about it? It's funny how they're like, well, how you feel about it? I'm good. And our house is calm. I'm calm. The house is calm. We ain't tripping. We're having our family meetings, and we're putting some action steps in place and things that we need to do to safeguard with the children and how we're going to get them educated, things that we're going to do. But we're not tripping. We're not flipping out the handles. We ain't running here and there, and they're watching. The young ones, the youth are watching us. They're watching the adults. They're watching me. They're watching my husband. They're watching my niece and nephew. They're listening to our chief mother, our Ema, and they're watching. They want to know, and they're kind of modeling their behavior off of us. So again, in a broader perspective, if you are a leader of something, or someone or a collective, your actions, your body movements has a lot to do with how it will affect the health of the body of the collective. So I don't know. Does that make sense?
That makes a
Kind
lot
of
of
ramble.
sense. Makes a whole bunch of sense.
Yeah.
So, what you want to say before we get out of here? You know, we like to keep them short so everybody can come back and get it. What you think we should do for this week before we get you back for another week of some
I
positive energy?
Positive energy. Take the opportunity. That's what I keep hearing in my spirit. Let's take these opportunities to bring forth those good ideas and the things that are on your heart that you want to start to do and see for yourself, your family, and your people. Just start doing it. We're going to start by putting together a plan on how we're going to get the children educated. I mean, because I'm an educator anyway, I've been an educator for many years, so naturally, I'm kicking in gear already because I already got lesson plans and stuff, which I will share, and I will post those things. We have a grand council call coming up, so we're kind of mobilizing and what we need to be doing to offer help to people in our community or our inner families and people in the community, what we can do. So you can start there. If you have children, families, what do you want to do with your kids? Free opportunity. They're closing down schools. If they're not sending work home, perfect opportunity for you to do things that you really want to do. If you can get out, if there's places that are nearby, or even if it's just in your backyard, if you can just start, some lessons with your kids or things you may want to watch, you want to catch up on some studies, good time to let them hear stuff about our culture. They do have good videos, if you kind of having to stay close to the home front, let them listen to some knowledge and, learn about the great law of peace. There's a lot of things, you can do. Stock up on get your vegetables and your fruit. Everybody going for the meat, but shoot, the vegetables and the fruit, the enzymes, and that is what keeps us. We're living plants and trees, so we need, those ingredients. I would say that focus on the positive. Focus. If everybody's going left, let's go to the right a little bit. Let's see what's on the right side,
right,
instead of the left side. Everybody doing that. Well, let's open our eyes and see what's left. And it's so funny that so many people around me are noticing everybody's leaving fruits and vegetables. Let's go get some fruits and vegetables, and let's freeze them up and let's, have more fruit smoothies in the morning. Change up your eating pattern. This is a great time to do that too. If you ain't got it, I'm not saying everybody has to turn to an instant vegetarian or a vegan. I mean, I'm a flexitarian because sometimes I can go straight. I don't want, any type of meat. And sometimes I'm just fish or, I don't eat red meat at all. But I'm just saying, this is a good time if you want to shift your diet, help your family shift into a different diet. These are positive things that we can work on. Look into native healing. A lot of good videos out there that's going on native healing, having certain elements, getting back into our nature. Of how we heal ourselves and work with each other. If you have people around you that you can work with positive people because that also helps with your health. Mental health is very important. And if we're filling our minds with negative thoughts all the time, with argumentative thoughts all the time, negative downing talk, the way we talk and what we fill our mind up with has a lot to do with how our body feels. If you've been arguing all day on the phone or you've been cursing folk out and stuff, I know you're tired. You got to be tired. Your body got to feel some kind of tiredness, from all of that exerted energy where you're not getting anything from it. So, limit your negative talk if you can. If you do 4 negative conversations in a week, limit it to 2. Start drawing back those things that are life, things that exhaust you in life. And let's focus in on things that are kind of, let us breathe a little easier. Get outside, meditate. These are all good things, I think, that, that we can start living some of the stuff we want to do. So I hope that helps. That's what we do. And I will, yeah.
Go ahead, and you will what?
I will post some things on education. If anybody wants to hit me up at chiefbluefeather@outlook.com, or y'all can go on our KUSA page and hit us up there or give us a call.
You said Chief.
Chief with a dash.
Okay.
Chief Bluefeather. With a dash or a hyphen in between. chief-bluefeather@outlook.com. You can hit me up on, you can do Coosa Nation USA at outlook.com. You can hit the call button on our page. Yeah. You can.
I'm about to put it in the.
Oh, okay. You can hit us up use the call button on our page if you have some questions and some things, need some ideas what to do. But I am going to post some things, like a curriculum, some pieces and parts of a curriculum that you can start to do, and just some ideas that I think that have been successful with the children we kind of work with.
Right.
And yeah, that I think it's been pretty cool.
When we get to go a day with Coosa and see how you help the people and different things like that, when you think we can come and roll and do a day with Coosa? Let's walk a day in Coosa shoes.
That's funny. That is hilarious. Let's see. Well, yeah, I know, right? Well, I don't know. Because, we have council members in different states, and, they got stuff going on in Tennessee. We have council members from Alabama, from Texas. So everybody's kind of, trying to do what we can do, freely and voluntarily to facilitate safe passage and right of return. We do work on some levels as well as addressing the government and the national community as well, because our thing is to do broad sweeping change for our people, because we work from the anthropological position that we know most, if not many, of the so-called African-American people out here are in fact American Aborigines or have a considerable amount of American Indian blood heritage. So we work from that standpoint. So we know that if you're in a county or in a school, the majority of those children, or at least half of those children, are your people. So we need to be thinking collectively how we can bring broad social change to ourselves and how we can engage this government to address us. And that's one of the things that we do. It's not an easy path to take because we do it from a decolonization standpoint where we're not looking for your recognition because you've already been recognized since you got here. So we don't need to apply to you for that. You just know who we are. And as a free and associated ancestral state, we just pretty much put ourselves in the business of protecting our people. And when issues come up, our idea is to, work to get whatever situation we're working in, is to get you to understand and approach us from the perspective of being the indigenous, the Aboriginal, the American Indian people. That we're not just going to go on with the color of law stuff anymore. It's time, it's just time for the change. So that's why I say it's always important to show up for your people, even if making a phone call. I mean, like, we're in different states. I can't be in every place, but I will make a phone call to a governor's office. I will make a phone call to a mayor's office. I will write a letter. I will reach out and let you know if this situation is happening with members of our community, our kinship, they're not alone, and we want to know what you're doing about it. And that's just simple stuff. It really don't take a lot. Advocacy is tough work. It's not easy work, but if that's the heart that you have to be the head, then that's what needs to be done. You got to let people know I'm showing up. And sometimes it just takes a simple phone call to say, hey, why is so-and-so that's going on in that situation? What is being done about it? And just having somebody to say, I'm looking out for you and I'm standing up for you, it moves things. It really does. That's why I say if we all focused on that, just looking out for each other, if you know a brother, sister's in trouble, whether it's dealing with a school case, defects, a civil case, a criminal case, and you're making, you're reaching out to those people who so-called have the power to make those decisions, but to let them know, this is my kin, this is our people, we're sovereign interpreters, and we are advocates for each other. We're one. You mess with them, you messing with us, and we want to know what you're doing about it. Those simple things help. They really do help. We got to show up for each other. You got an issue with defects, something, let these people know you just can't take our kids, and we're going to stand here and not do anything about it, but we're going to address you, and we're going to hold you accountable for your behavior and things that you've done. And I'm not saying that, okay, they just automatically turn over a leaf because, hey, these people are not trying to give up the illusion of the power that they think they've had over us all this time. But I think the more we push against the grain and say, hey, this is who we are, and we're not going back. We are the American Indians, and it's time to respect us on our own land, and you're violating these rights. What are y'all doing about it? And keep pushing and keep moving and motivating to hold them accountable. That's the heart of what we do. That's it. Real simple. That's it.
Thank you.
So,
thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
When we're going to see you again, we're going to get some more of this positive energy again for you next week.
I hope so. That'd be cool.
Okay. So, y'all, we're going to get her back on because, oh, man, I should have had you every day of the week. But,
Hey, you know I ain't gonna be out there like that.
Yeah, I know, Chief.
I ain't gonna do that. Yeah, I like to keep it low to the ground.
Feel good. You bring good vibes and good energy. And a lot of people commented and said they enjoyed it, and it was fresh. It was like fresh air to them, and it was to me as well. And I hope you do well. And we'll be looking forward to hearing from you again next week. Well, you know, I'm gonna talk to you later on, but. I know me and everyone else, we look forward to talking to you later on. Seeing you next week.
I appreciate your work as well, Coach. I think it was definitely a blessing that how we met you and your family. We just instantly connected by spirit and by light. And I want you to stay encouraged and just keep up the good work and just stay in the light. You have a pure heart that I've seen and noticed and how you react with people, your love for the youth, and you have a heart for not wanting to see people to get hurt. You know, that's the heart of a true leader, whether you have the title or not, because that's not what makes you a leader, a warrior. A warrior is not someone who goes out just to hammer people in the head or kill people or hurt and harm. A true warrior, and I've seen somebody post that you're willing to take the hits, you know, that you're willing to stand up for people and stand in the gap when there's someone who doesn't have a voice to do that. And that's not an easy position to take. But the more of us that do it, the better it will be, because then we'll let this world know we care about each other. Even if we don't agree, we still care about each other. We're still one. And you can't just mess with our family and our people and thinking that we're just going to turn a blind eye to. And I'm hoping that that's the shift that we will all make as a people, that no matter how we differ in our ideology, because we're all coming from different walks of life, because that's what our life experience is. And no one can really go back and change your life experience. However you came through the star tunnel to get here, and the life path that you walked is what you walked. It is what it is, and it's not a bad thing. No matter what religion you've been in or whatever political group you've been in, all of that adds up to right now to help shape who you are as a person, and you use the good of that and the tools and your special light to help. So I want you to stay encouraged, and anybody out there to stay encouraged who's just trying to do the right thing. And sometimes we get a hard way to go, but at the end of the day, it's about integrity and just having a pure heart. We're not perfect. That's what people keep confusing with leadership. It's like, oh, they got to be perfect. No, we don't. We all got problems. We don't have criminal problems. We don't have poverty problems. We've had sick problems, death, and, family drama issues. We're not perfect. Nobody is perfect. But what you do is you make your heart perfect to do the right thing. So I just wanted to say that personally to you, that I do appreciate the love in your heart, and I do appreciate the light that you bring, that you don't come with a hidden agenda. You're not trying to use anybody. You really looked out for us when we were going through what we were going through. You opened your heart and your home to us, and we're still working it. We went up to the, to the HUD Summit, and those are the kind of things I want us to keep doing together so that we can move forward with our Indian housing proposal and family preservation. We're trying to preserve ourselves and our plans of how we can do that. So that's where we're at. So I appreciate you, Coach, and everybody out there that's just trying to do the right thing. So. We
appreciate you too, Chief. And I'll be calling you after this, okay?
All right, y'all take care. Sam.
All right, thank you very much, and we love you.
I love y'all too.
All right, Chief. Talk to you later.
Peace.
All right. All right, y'all, I'm out of here. Chief didn't drop the bomb on me. And yes, we really did need that. I know I did. Now that was some good words, inspirational words, great motivational words. And I know all we can do is just keep pushing forward. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for coming out, listening, and checking out Chief Bluefeather. And she does a very, very great job of what she does. I'm very thankful for meeting her. And I'm out, y'all. Peace.